And now we're doing today Zach. Okay, Geras HaKedesh, Chav Hey, the Shir of Chav Zayin, Tishrei. And notice that the regular year and the leap year have joined, but don't you worry, they will. Huh?
Why do they keep separating and going back?
I told you this many times. I told you this Kama V'Kama P'yamim, that the Rebbe asked the Frierdiker Rebbe this question, and the Frierdiker Rebbe said it's 2 years, it's 2 Sedarim. It's not that you have a technical issue with 2 others. It's Ibayar has a different shia. I've told this to you many times. The Ibayar, you look at the shiurim, you have small, gigantic. Small, gigantic. The regular year, you don't have such small ones or such big ones. Because there's a difference to say that of a tzaddik and to say that of a Baal Tshuva. That's a difference between a regular year and a leap year. So till the beginning of Kislev, I think Yud Gimel Kislev, they join finally. And until then, it keeps jumping around. Says the Alter Rebbe. V'hinei, neideli edechein. It's known to people who study Kabbalah. Right now he's really starting in effect the issue of his slapshus versus Hashra. Hashem gives chayas to everything. And if Hashem would not give it chayas, it wouldn't be. Including Klippa. Because Klippa also is created yesh mi'ayin b'chol rega v'rega. So Eibishter is giving it chayas to allow it to be Klippa. But the issue is the difference between saying Hashem is allowing it to be Klippa and the Eibishter is commanding it to be Klippa. This is the issue of subtlety, which is so important when the Alter Rebbe is explaining this Teres Baal Shem Tov. We're not going to talk about Bechira, but we're going to talk about Gili Elikus. Is a Elikus revealed in Klippa for Klippa to be Klippa? Or is a Elikus giving highest to Klippa and even of Helem for Klippa to be Klippa? That's enough of an issue. V'hinei, neidli yedechin, it's known al pi Kabbalah. Ki dvar havaya nikra b'shem Shechina b'lashon Hazal. In the language of the Shas, the words of Hashem of creation are called Shechina. Or ve'emet atah, or matronisa b'lashon Hazeh. This is the Alter Rebbe mentioned this in Tanya. You get Perik Nun Aleph in the beginning. He has 5 or 6 names for Malchus. Here he just mentions a few. Shechina, emetah, matronisa. There's even more. Or befrat b'reish pashas ve'eda. Especially beginning of ve'eda, that the words of Hashem that create the world are called Shechina. Why? Because it manifests and reveals itself in the creations to give them life. On the language of later Mekubalim, Nikra b'shem Malchus. It's curled Malchus al Shem Dvar Melech Shilton. Just like we know about a king, that kings don't get involved with the people. Faket. Kings are removed. Kings are aloof. The only thing that kings actually give people are their words. But the words of a king have a koyach of action. Dvar Melech Shilton. The king's words are as powerful as you hitting a hammer. The king's words affect Peil Mamish. So all he does is speak words, but those words create reality. And the same is true in Kabbalah, that Malchus's words create the world. A king governs his kingship with his words. There are additional reasons that they know the people who are in Kabbalah. Now, it's also known there's different madrigas in Malchus. There's Malchus Datzilus, or Bechinas Malchus Debriya. Okay? Now, Pirush, what's the difference between one Malchus and the second Malchus? These Malchus are very posh. The Malchus Datzilus, Malchus of Datzilus, who Dvar Havaya is the word of the Eibishter, Hamachaye Umahava Neshamas Agedelis, that gives life and existence to the great souls. In other words, Shem Bechinas Datzilus, they come from Datzilus, Kohen Nishmas Adam Rishon, like the Rishon Adam Rishon. Shenem Abei, regarding Adam Rishon, it's written, Vayipach Be'apa V'geimet that Hashem blew him into the national Adam Rishon, Adam Rishon Tzich HaMashiach Baruch Hu. Now I want you to understand, when he says Malchus Datzilus is Machaya Neshamas of Atzilus, this is in Atzilus. It's not Malchus Datzilus, which is Machaya in Bria, it's in Atzilus. Like I explained to you when we learned the Geras HaKedesh Chaf, that every Malchus of each world does 2 things. It creates the 10 spheres of the next world, and it creates the Olam of its own world. So the Malchus of Atzilus creates Olam Atzilus and the Neshamas that are Yotzav and Nifredu in Atzilus itself, like we had in Geras HaKedesh Chaf. Okay? Ukmei, moreover, Neshamas Avos v'Neviim, okay, when Neshamas Avos and Neviim, Shahayu Merkava Lavaya Mamish, which are in the Madrega of Merkava, right? As you know, this doesn't get in Tanya Perik Lametes and Perik Lametes that Lametes Bikir, that Neshamas of Atzilus Aveda is Merkava, Neshamas of Bria Aveda is Seichel, and Neshamas of Yitzir is Teva. So being a Merkava, which means bottled Elikus B'Yetzem, this is the Madrega of the Neviim. U'b'teila mamish b'metzias love, and they're totally nullified in their form to the Eibishter. K'maymer azal, we find by the Nevi'im, and it gives you the best example of all, that Shechina medaber is mitech gerei neishel Meisha, the Shechina speaks through the sort of Meisha Rabbeinu. V'chein kol ha-Nevi'im, the same is true of all Nevi'im. Okay. that they're neshamas of Atzilus, because in them was revealed Ein Sof. Now, when it comes to people of Ruach HaKodesh, it's similar but a little bit lower. That so the words and the air of the Eibishter's words were revealed in their words. In other words, it's not the Eibishter's words through them, it's the Eibishter's words in their words. So this gives you a little bit of a chilek to Nevuah with Ruach HaKodesh. Nevuah, it's pshat, the Eibishter's words are speaking through you. The Ruach HaKodesh, the Eibishter's words are speaking through your words. But the bottom line is, this Gil al-Kus is a B'china of Atzilus. Then he continues, Malchus de Bria, and Malchus of Bria, Shabel Mabir, the word of Bria, who Dvar Havaya, it's the word of the Eibishter, Machaya, Umahave, HaNeshamas V'Malachim Shabel Mabria, it creates the souls and the angels in the world of Bria. She'ein Ma'alos Mekabal Tzatzilas V'chol, they're not in the same Madrega of Atzilus, because their Madrega is not Merkava, the Madrega is the Chil Elochimu, Sichle, like the Rebbe says, Tanya, Perikol, Nechas, Perikol, Metas. V'chol, and he makes Pekitzer, he skips. And then he finally does a Malchus, that's here. Malchus of Asihu, Dvar Havaya, Machayu, Mahave, Selam Hazeh, Beklole. It gives life and existence to this world. Ad Yeseda off of Amayim, all the way down till earth and water, which is beneath the earth, which is so-called inanimate, unalive. And of course, you'll see it from tomorrow. The purpose that the Alter Rebbe is trying to make is, just like you understand, that although we say Dvar Havaya is making Yesh Mayayin, but you understand there's different Madregas in Dvar Havaya, there is also not just the Inyan of Madregas of higher and lower, there's Madregas of even Klipa. And Klipa also comes from the Dvar Havaya, but there's a difference between the Dvar Havaya, which is creating Klipa, and for example, the Dvar Havaya, which is creating the Neshamas of Atzilus. Although it's the same principle, there's a very, very big difference. And therefore, you're able to explain how Hashem is in a way responsible for the choices that Klipa makes, and at the same time, you're not going to say that Hashem is revealed in Klipa, which is the title the Misnagdim had. How can you say Hashem was revealed in Klipa? Now, I was going to say it's only from Golos. That's all.